Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Ezreal game. Let's get the show on the road. Which one? Yes, I caved in. I don't know what encouraged you guys to spam me about it, but I'm playing Jungle Ezreal. I believe my runes were attack damage red, attack speed quince, armor yellow, magic resistance blues, or cooldown reduction blues. I don't remember. It's just some random page I picked because people were telling me what to do. And I think it was 18012 masteries. I don't remember. I just had someone else build it for me. Anyways, red to blue start, and then right after red to blue, I get absolutely murdered by the Nidalee. So yeah, my cheese kind of ends there. Thankfully, she isn't that smart, so she just kind of sticks around in my jungle doing God knows what. I end up taking my Gromp, which is pretty damn important for me. And then I end up gunning her down. So thank you for holding my buffs. Now they've been refreshed, and I can go on a massacre. I gank, what's his name, Vladimir rather early, do quite a bit of damage. And for some reason he decides to get a little bit too brave. And he forgets that I'm still around. So you go in there, apply red on him, and he's pretty much just doomed. And this is the part that I don't understand. He still has flash. He kind of just face tanks my Q and dies. So thankfully, that's a second kill for me. Or at least, yeah, second kill for me. I go towards top lane for the Malphite. Same thing, apply red, he's slowed down, and I just sort of snipe him down to death. That's the third kill for me. Things are going so well. Then Nidalee comes in trying to cheese kill me as well. She slowly just kind of gets gunned down by me, the minions, and the Quinn. I don't get this kill, but still, I've participated in a lot of murder sprees so far, and I only had about 6 CS at that point. So again, I don't know what made people want to play Jungle Ezreal, or like, you know, a pro busted him out or something, but you know, I got a lot of suggestions and I decided to use him because, you know, if you guys didn't know, historically Ezreal's been someone who can sort of cheese the jungle, because one of the main things for jungle is attack speed, or quote-unquote fake attack speed. You basically can, the best example of that is Trundle's Q, by the way. Yeah, I die, we just completely screw that up. It's Trundle's Q, you know, you auto attack and you bite. It interrupts your auto attack to make a like super auto attack. It's like you had a infinite attack speed in that moment, because within the same animation you had auto attack and you bit to make another auto attack. Does that make sense a little bit? Either way, that's one of the biggest factors as to whether or not a champion can jungle, if they have an ability that allows them to do that really quickly. And Ezreal has that, plus it deals a lot of damage. So not only is it like a auto attack, it's a super auto attack at a distance at a low cooldown. And the only issue with Ezreal is that he gets pretty much beat down by the jungle if he's not careful. So if you're gonna try jungle Ezreal, you have to be really good at kiting around and, you know, being patient with how you kill the camps. But yeah, he's always been pretty capable of jungling. But of course, you know, the whole issue is why would you pick him in the jungle when you could pick someone with actual crowd control? Well, the thing is, Jungle Ezreal, or Ezreal in general, is someone who's really frustrating to deal with and can actually deal a lot of damage if he gets ahead. Plus, in a really cheesy way with red buff, since he's able to apply with Q, he can just pin someone down and slowly destroy them. Like, he's a very bully type of character. You see, I already got a huge lead early on, and kind of nobody on the enemy team, except, you know, if I blunder into a Malphite and fight him really poorly, can deal with him. I mean, again, I die here like a chump, but in most cases, you can see that I'm kind of torturing the enemy team at this point. It's what you would call a high roller jungler. You either absolutely stomp the enemy team, or you just completely get destroyed. And I want to make it very clear, I am bad at Ezreal and most AD carries, right? Most marksmen. But in general, if you know how to just kind of move around as a jungler and can at least partially aim your stuff, you can pull this off. But I wouldn't recommend it unless you're a very experienced jungler, or you can at least understand some of those concepts. And before anyone says, Stolno, how can you be a bad Ezreal if you have Pulsefire Ezreal? Why would you invest in that? I actually, you know, to make some of you jealous, I got this out of a chest. So, hooray for me, right? Anyways, Vladimir comes in, blink out, you know. Right now, I am super susceptible to dying by anyone. And if you look at my team composition, we're really strange. We have a Lux support mid, we have a Taric support bottom, Quinn top, what's her name, Xayah bottom, and me jungle. 380 carry to support team. And the enemy team is pretty well built to deal with that. I mean, Malphite alone should be able to stomp us to the ground, right? Anyways, as Ezreal, like I said, you're super reliant on red. Otherwise, for the most part, until you get some better items, you're kind of not going to do anything. Most people would just either avoid your stuff or just kind of walk away. But once you get red buff or you get some items to be able to just nuke people down, there's like just very little things most anyone can do. Like, I don't know how to really describe it. There's very few other junglers or champions that can punish someone or at least just frustrate someone as much as a jungle Ezreal could with, well, at least red buff, and hell, with blue buff it's even worse. Essentially, you get access to things no jungler should really have access to, or, well, not really not have access to, just doesn't have access to. Like, a long time ago I mentioned for Dr. Mundo how much of a big deal it is to have a jungler that can actually poke poke and fight at a range, quote unquote. Ezreal can just flat out do that. Even if you consider other marksman junglers like Graves and Kindred, they can't even do that. And Ezreal is just like super spammy and whatnot. So in essence, if the enemy team isn't playing around your ability to siege and poke at things, it's just gonna slowly shove lanes out or kind of pressure them around. Again, right now I have 6 kills and 4 deaths. Not that impressive. My farm is pretty low, and it's I would say it's mostly on par with the Quinn right now, so it's not as explosive as it seems. But you've seen how much of an impact I've had in the game just kind of walking around, going to a lane, and sort of forcing them back because my damage just pretty much piles on. Plus, I also gotta say, to be honest, the Taric throughout the entire game has been rather MVP, but it's gonna become way more apparent later on as you see, just sort of, you know, spoiler alert. It also kind of helps that my opponents are a little bit too overconfident because my team comp is definitely bad, but they shouldn't be underestimated the amount of free damage we can pile on. Again, my comp is bad, but we have a Taric in the front line, and that's it. And like if they focus him, he's not going to die rather easily, and he's going to get off a really good ultimate most of the time. And the rest of my team is just going to poke people down and grind them down. Most other junglers that I could have picked would be initiators or people who just kind of, you know, take that brunt damage. But with jungle Ezreal, you get to do something just very few people are prepared for. I mean, I'm pretty sure my opponents did not expect jungle Ezreal, or maybe they did since it's flavor of the month or something. But because of this, they are just kind of not responding to it well. I mean, they can kill me for sure, but the amount of effort it's taking for them to just deal with me after getting pretty big is extreme. So the whole high roll is working out, because on the back of me destroying the enemy team, my team is just kind of, you know, getting free reign. Oh, of course, the Malphite is too getting free reign too. He's just kind of not participating and just kind of pushing. But I hope you kind of get what I mean. It's one of those cases where, how do you say, your bad composition doesn't really matter because you had a high roller actually work out. I'm trying to remember other examples. Something like, you know, if you play something like a jungle assassin, so to speak, you could just start annihilating people or making their lives, you know, hell to deal with or hell to play. Also, I don't know, I was really poorly fought on my behalf fighting melee range versus Malphite, but at this point, there's no real way I can get punished. So hooray for me. And also at this point, I'm just asking everyone, what do I build? Because I don't even know how to play Ezreal or what the jungle Ezreal build was. Just people on stream were like, hey, play jungle Ezreal, it's a new craze. So, you know, yeah. Anyways, here's what I mean. The only one they could possibly focus is a Taric, and if they can't kill him, he's gonna pop with a brilliant ultimate, and the rest of my team is just gonna dogpile on whoever's in the front line and melt them, just slowly grind them down. They can't do anything, so to speak. Like it's that whole, like, anyone who gets close is going to get ground down by just pure auto attacks. And if even something goes bad, we have all the means to just kind of walk away because we're fighting at a huge distance. This composition, we actually kind of planned it. Our teammate said he's going to go Ardent Censer Lux after he already picked her, and like, you know, we didn't plan having all these 80 carries. So within the champion select, or I mean the loading screen, we were talking about it. I'm like, we kind of felt this would be a hilarious way to work. As long as we all play our part, the enemy team even though they can survive us, or they will be able to team fight us, they would have such difficulty or frustration in doing so. They're probably not going to be able to handle it. Like, look, what can they really do versus this onslaught? We can just destroy towers. They get close. They get chunked down by so much damage. It's such a truly beautiful thing, no? Like, the only real threat is Malphite and Vladimir doing a proper combo, but even then, they just can't get close enough or get enough targets to make it valuable. Which is kind of run away or catch somebody off guard and destroy them. Like, look, here again, the Tariq's ultimate is so brilliantly done, and they can't find any targets to properly get without taking so much damage. This isn't like only a jungle Ezreal thing, but again, if I had picked any other jungler, I'd kind of have to be in the brunt of it. They'd have another possible target to pick. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. Jungle Ezreal is not necessarily viable. It's more one of those super, and I would say one of the most selfish picks you could do because of how risky your early game is and how, like, not helpful your ganks are without red buff. That it's just like the high roll is you gotta roll basically a perfect 20, but when you roll that, it's pretty much the enemy team can't do anything. Even doubly so if they're ill prepared to deal with it. So, like, I don't know. Again, I don't know who busted, who used it, or how much successful it was when it was being used, or if it's being spammed more than just a couple times. For enough forewarned people to tell me about it, you can tell me in the comments below what's made Jungle Ezreal a big thing right now, or enough, you know, to bother me with it. But I don't really see it being, you know, useful. It's just every now and then he becomes a thing because he's got a lot of traits junglers like, just not the complete toolkit to make him, you know, totally useful or totally, you know, safe to pick. Like, I could definitely make him work as a jungler if they really wanted to. Like, he has, again, his Q is brilliant for it, but yeah, whatever. Anyways, the saddest moment of this entire video is here. I am not going to be playing Ezreal that much, right? I'm not good as Ezreal either. And this is my only chance to ever score on Ezreal pentakill. And I lost it. There will never be another chance like this. Oh, and it's gone forever. Either way, it was a pretty good game nonetheless, right?